Hi, beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Capricorn, this is your yearly forecast for 2024. And I know that when I'm recording this, we're already already halfway in through February of this year. I just still want to use both January and February included in the whole forecast. And I'm sorry I haven't sort of gotten to this sooner. Life is happening. And here we are now in the mid. You might find this reading in June and then you have no idea what I'm talking about, because then you didn't know anyway that I was a little bit late with these. But anyway, I already got sort of the basis of every month out on the table. It gives me a little bit of time to just sort of sit with the energy and without you just having to watch me as I'm just sitting here. I just figured I'd get all those cards out on the table and then I'll just use the clarifiers to really get into the message of each month. By the end of all these posted videos for each sign, I will get into each and every one of them to timestamp every single month so that you can go back and look or go forward and look like, okay, so wait a minute, how did April look, or how did June look, or whatever. So if you want to revisit not the whole video and have to go back and forth in the video, you can just go into the description box and hit the timestamp for your particular month. I also want to say a little bit of a disclaimer here that when I'm doing the reading, it's in the current energy, right? So any prediction, if you see a medium or a psychic or whatever that predicts some sort of future, to understand that it's always based on the here and now energy, right? So if you don't like, in particular, what you hear about some future reference, you can actually change it. Or you can sort of steer the energy in a different direction. Or if you really like what you're hearing, like keep doing whatever you're doing because it's working, right? I also want to thank you so much, Capricorn, so much for your likes and subscribes. It really has pushed the channel in the right direction. And I can't tell you how much that helps the channel and how much that in turn helps me. So thank you so much for that. And Capricorn, you're one of the strongest growing signs for my channel right now. So I don't know what's going on with you guys, but we seem to be vibing right now. So I'm really thankful for that. It might just be Pluto that just moved out of your sign. You have no Pluto more in your sign. Like that's going to be such a relief because you've had Pluto in Capricorn for the last, I don't know, I'm no astrologer, not pretending to know anything that I don't. So I think it's like around 17-ish, 17, 18, 19 years or something that Pluto has been in your sign, stationed in your sign. So you might have felt like whatever you've done in terms of relationships, in terms of work, in terms of health, in terms of like if you're trying to change something and for the life of you, you just can't seem to change it. And now Pluto has moved on and moved into Aquarius. You're going to have a little bit of a revisit. I think sometime in September of this year of 2024. And I think it ultimately goes back into Aquarius and stays there for another 20 years in the month of December. I'm not going to this is not bulletproof. That's sort of loosely what I remember it to be. But just know that like it's moving out, it's gradually moving out of your sign. And you might even have felt it from this, we have the January here, community, that you've grown out of something. Like whatever you've grown out of leading up to this year, relationships, jobs, whatever situation, friendships, you feel like I can't stick around in this friendship anymore. I can't continue to do this anymore. Or if there's something that you've been wanting to like jump on board and like it just hasn't been the right time, or like the timing just doesn't seem to come around and fit the schedule, now's the time. You might already have felt that liftment, like there's a final, oh my goodness, I can finally breathe. There's something that's like, you might not have like a exploding change in your outer realms just yet. I think that's coming. But you might already feel it in your bones, like feel it in your energy that things are now shifting around. So we're just going to jump right in here, Capricorn, in the month of January. And as I said, we have the community card here. And this is a giraffe that doesn't fit this little treehouse like is way too small for you. So if this is a community that you're in, it just doesn't fit you anymore. If this is like a family situation where you have outgrown, like, you know, sometimes we're really bound to stay in particular settings, particular constellations in terms of family, because it's blood, because it's family. And I'm the first one to say sometimes we don't. Just because it's blood, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to stay in certain scenarios if it doesn't inspire you. If it continues to just sort of dim your shine or hold yourself back or whatever, it might be time to move on. We have already just look at like, okay, so what happened in the month of January? This seems to be a month where you have really thought about what fits you and what doesn't anymore. And we're just going to get a quick clarifier for that and then move into February. To clarify community there, we have a number 8. So it's a strong numerology number. Like it's talk about the new, like we're starting the new, and it's new opportunities, and it's bravery and strength. Yeah. And as I said that, we have Ace of Rafa. Ace always speaks about the new. And this is a positive new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships. And we see a little bit of that in February. A positive new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships, deep and lasting spiritual insights. So for sure, you're thinking about new. You're thinking about moving on to a place where you feel more at home, let's say. Like you fit in, if you will. Like a place where you can grow, where you haven't outgrown. And it can even be like, so I'm in this apartment right now, and this apartment that I'm in has served me really well. If you follow me, you have seen me in a beanie or you've seen me with some sort of hat on, because it's been so freaking freezing cold in this apartment because of the heaters. The heating system just hasn't worked. And as of just 2 days or something, they finally fixed it. So I'm like a new person. I'm like, oh, I can just have a little dress on, and I don't have to like put like, you know, the glaciers, you know, polar bear jackets on to be okay. I'm actually quite warm, and it you know, puts me in a new place. And it just really sort of like, yeah, okay, interesting. The point of that is that, okay, if you realize what you have been in, I mean, I've dealt with a cold. I thought I did. I thought I dealt with a cold. I can feel now that like there's a bubbliness to me just to be in the right temperature in the apartment. Just the right temperature. It's like, oh my God, I feel like a different person. And how important the environment actually is, and how important the temperature for your body is, and how it responds to it, and how you function or how you don't function. I understand that one afternoon, give or take, who cares? But when it goes on for days and days and weeks, and then final months, like, no. There's something here, you're starting something new, you're thinking like, maybe the apartment that you're in, maybe the house, maybe the community, like what fits you right now. And I think that has been like on your mind for the month of January. It's a new emotional experience there. Come February here, you're laying a new foundation. We have 2 cards. It's the only month that we had 2 cards come out as a foundation. And it might be, we have 4 and 6. And 4 and 6 showed up a lot for my Valentine's read. And if you haven't checked out the Valentine's read yet, please do so, because that's valid for like about a month or 6 weeks into the future, which is 4 to 6 weeks, which is 4 and 6. 4 and 6 is love. 4 and 6 is foundation, harmony. It's a really beautiful number. And it might be, we're going to clarify, it might be that you're laying a new foundation for love, that you're coming into a really important commitment with somebody. We have the harmony card and we have firm foundation. And because we have like a new fulfilling romantic relationships, you might even have met someone, or you might have really deepened a connection that you were already in for the month of January. And come February, it's like, and we just had Valentine's. This might be like a tying of the knot. However you want to I'm not here to judge anyone or like tell you what to do or like what's the right thing, but like in the way that you think that connection or like a commitment is to someone is what you seem to be doing right now. Like you're really making that commitment to someone. If this is not romantic, this can be that you're really are, it's like Capricorn wants to sort of be a part of things again. Like you want to build a solid foundation for yourself. You want to feel like you're safe and sound and supported and have your ducks in a row, and like you want to play again. Does that make sense? You want to make new connections, perhaps make new friends, make new come into a new community, a new way of living. And that seems to be like the foundation of February. We're going to clarify that. Foundation and harmony there, or love even. What do we have for Capricorn for the month of February of 2024? And if you're new here, welcome. And if you wonder why I take some time to shuffle at times, it's just because I'm waiting for Spirit to help me have a card come out rather than I'm picking them. You're ascending your heart. You really are. Some people in the month of February has already met someone, or you have this to look forward to. There's going to be an elevation for the heart. You might be totally head over heels in love, Capricorn. We have 7, so there's a completion, and there's the support that I'm talking about. This might even be, I understand that not every single Capricorn is single, and even if you're single, you might not even want to meet someone. So this is for the single Capricorn that wants to meet someone or has already met someone. So this is going to be a little bit of a side note here, and that's not going to be for every Capricorn, that you've been wanting to make this commitment to someone. You've been wanting to meet someone. Here's the tying of the knot again. Like there's a commitment to someone and raising of your heart. Like coming together with this person is going to make you feel safe, and it's going to make you open up your heart, and it's going to make you ascend your heart. It's elevating your heart. I feel like this is like your hand and their hand, and like coming together is just gonna be so much better. Who's that singing that song, Better Together? Ben something? Better Together. Anyway, yeah, there's a beautiful commitment happening there for the month of February. If this is not a romantic partnership, for any other Capricorn out there, generally speaking, this might just be that you're laying a new foundation for yourself. Like you're deepening. It can be that you're deepening a relationship that you're already in. It can even be a business partnership. It can be a friendship. It can be with a family member. You're deepening in a relationship. It's the focus on deepening in relationships for the month of February. And it can also be that you're really focusing on you. You want to lay that foundation for yourself. You want to feel where do you fit in? It's a continuation of January. It's like, where do you thrive the most? Where does your heart skip a beat? Like, where do you really get your passion from? This is a beautiful month in February. It's like laying a new foundation. Some of you guys meeting a new love. Really wanted to feel like solid in your life, in yourself. Okay, moving on to the month of March, and we have transformation. And I didn't actually see this before as I sat with the energy a little bit. I see sacred geometry now. So whoever is into sacred geometry, I'm a nerd for it. I have just barely scraped the surface of it, and I understand that there's such depth to go into, and it's a big sort of learning curve, and there's so much to understand, but it's like really fascinating. And if you're into it, there's this inspiration for some of you guys to really get into this, but this might be like 5% out of all Capricorns out there listening to this, and the rest of you go, not that interesting, and that's fine too. We have transformation though. 13 is transformation. 13 is the divine feminine. To sort of go with the flow, where all the ideas come in, where the flow comes in, we just sort of rather follow than make certain things happen. This is when you are getting your clothes off. This is when you're transforming in the best way, like shedding the old and allowing for the new to come in. It's just such a beautiful process from like January, February, and then come March is like, okay, it's time to really make that shift. It's called release. It's like releasing the things that just doesn't, it's just not you anymore. It's a constant growth, constant growing. March, how can we clarify the release card there, please, for Capricorn? Wow. Wow. We sort of almost have the king twice. We have the emperor and the king of Ariel. I mean, stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation. Your plans, it's ambitious plans. Your plans are working out very well. Professional and financial success, using resources wisely. This is going to sound exactly the opposite, like stability and efficiency, taking charge of a situation. And the emperor is all about making those plans, being very effective, putting your ideas into motion. So I just feel like it probably starts out as, okay, a couple of different things coming through here. Because for some of you, it might be that like you can be very like forward moving without actually taking any action. Does that make sense? Like you can write a lot and you can think about a lot and you can really visualize where it is that you're heading and feel into it, like be there emotionally, and yet nothing much like is skipping or changing or you're not doing all that much like on the outer planes, if that makes sense. It's like an inner journey. For some of you guys, it will start out that way in the month of March, and then somewhere mid through or somewhere along in the month of March, you will start to feel the urge to go into action. Like, but wait for that signal, because I feel like you're going through such a profound transformation anyway. Like it's to put on yourself that you're on top of that, changing a lot of things. So if you're thinking about quitting a job or applying for a job, if you're thinking about going ahead or like moving forward with something, I'd for sure wait for the signal to be very, very clear to do so. But because it's like putting too much. Okay, as an example, just the other day, so my sister, who's also Swedish, and she used to live in Sweden, but her and her entire family moved to Spain. They've been there now for a couple of years, and they're here visiting. And one of her children, two of her children came along, and one of those children went to see her grandmother the other day, and she was traveling on a train for the first time in her life. And then they were going to go bowling, and she went bowling for the first time on her own. It wasn't that my grandma wasn't there, but it was like this fun week, and it was like, come try bowling if you haven't done it before. And she's 10 years old, and she never bowled before, and she just wanted to try it out, and she thought she was going to go with my grandma, and then it turns out, no, it's not for the adults. Like she could then hook up with any other kids that was there. And then she was like so stressed about that as well. Like, oh my God, like she was going to be on her own. My grandmother was not going to be like right next to her. She was going to hear about the rules and how to do this from another instructor. And then today when I talked to them, they weren't here. I was like, how are you going? Like, how are we going to plan this weekend? And like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know yet, because she's still sleeping. And it was noon when I called. I was like, what? Is she still sleeping? And she was like, yeah, I think she was really, really tired. And so the thing that she did, she sat on a train. So she didn't move her body at all. It was like a 20-minute ride. And we were right there to drop her off. And my grandmother was right there to pick her up on the other end. And she went bowling with my grandmother in the same house, and that bowling probably lasted for like 30 minutes or something like that. And then they went for like, they did various things, but not like, exhausting, draining things for the body. She was completely like just out of it. Because the amount of, do you see where I'm going with this? The amount of energy that you're putting into something, even though you don't do too much physically, this, I feel for the month of March, is going to take up all your energy. So, and it's going to lead to all of this. It's going to lead to the Emperor King. It's going to lead to the Emperor King in you. Like, it's going to be bringing out the best version of you. That's going to bring a lot of beautiful things are going to start to move in the right direction. A lot of success. It might even be like a windfall of money. You might get a promotion. Like, it's something about like great opportunities coming your way, and you're starting to move in the clear right direction of what you want. But I would just really pay attention to when the signal is like, okay, it's a green light now. Because if it's before that and you try to make certain things happen anyway, first and foremost, you're going to sort of just drain yourself because you have so much to deal with when it comes. You're going to sleep till noon, metaphorically. You're going to sleep till noon. So you don't have time to make things happen. You want to allow them to happen. That's the divine feminine also. We go with the flow. We allow it to fall into place. We don't make anything fall into place, right? And then because we have the King and Emperor and we have a little like sniffing out around love here, it might be for some of you, it does not matter if it's like, it's not gender specific, but this might be your king showing up here, like really making, like they're quite there in your life, if that makes sense. Like there's going to be a before and an after. It's going to be so obvious that you have a king in your life now. You might have come into that energy of being the king energy, and you might also have met the king energy. Another 4 there. Moving on to the month of April, which is 14. Another 4. It's a new beginning for the heart. Truth be told. So April seems to be like also like very open and very like the window to your soul. It seems, Capricorn, like everything is so important to you right now to just do it by what's the most truthful, the most authentic, the most in alignment with your soul. That just seems to be the number one priority for you. Like nothing else matters anymore. It's like, yeah, you know what? I stuck it out with this job, or I hung around this family situation, or I had this friend that like, it didn't really do it for me anymore. And you stayed around there, but now it's like, no, whatever works for my soul, whatever works for my like soul purpose, your core values is what's the most important thing right now. Can we clarify truth be told for the month of April? For the month of April, there's a soul-searching opening of the heart. Third eye chakra, very fitting. I think one more. Yes. Choose your battles. And this card has come out a lot lately in all my readings. I just feel like there's a lot of people moving into the... Okay, look at this. So we have 14 that adds up. So we have 4, and then it adds up. 14 adds up to number 5, and then we have 6 and 7. So it's a beautiful journey here going on. We have third eye chakra, which is all about your intuition, your psychic abilities. This opening of your, like opening the window to your soul, can also be for some of you guys who are really into that sacred geometry and this shift and transformation going on. That can be a really spiritual and profound journey for you. And that can open up a lot of psychic gifts, like maybe things you weren't even aware that they were sort of taking place right now, or things you maybe have asked for. This might be very on purpose for some of you, that like you want to get more into the psychic realm. You want to understand your psychic gifts better. You want to pursue that path much more. But for some of you, this will be like, oh my God, all of a sudden you're just sensing things that you a moment ago didn't sense at all. Or you have, like, you're picking up, someone's sending a message to your phone or whatever. You hear the beep and immediately you just know who it is. You haven't checked your phone. You just know who sent that message. or just a moment before it happens, you get that person in your mind, on your mind, and it's like, I felt them right before they sent that message. You know, you're getting very in tune with whatever's going on, sort of in the, call it the outer, but really the inner planes. And that's really opening up for you. That's very much in line with that soul, like soul searching and opening the window to your soul, being in alignment with your source, with your inner being, and really listening to that intuition of yours. Like really fine-tuning who you are is a good way of saying that. You're fine-tuning who you are in the month of April. And choose your battles. I mean, even if it's that title is like choose your battles, it's more like, okay, this is someone who's standing their ground, and this is someone, I always like to play on this, like the blue and the green and the gold. Like first we were a little bit naive in the blue phase, so to speak, which is a phase here as well. And then you moved on to the green, which is more like becoming whole, becoming healed, really attaching to your heart, coming from a heart-centered space. And then moving on, like starting to now actually move into this is the king emperor feel here again, moving into the golden era and really starting to like feel in alignment with who you are. And then choose your battles can become, because not everyone likes when someone moves on, not everyone likes when someone all of a sudden decides to make different choices that works for them, or when you really are stepping into, like when you really are standing your ground, Capricorn, and what matters the most is your alignment with your soul and your soul purpose and like who you authentically are. You might like almost overnight realize that this relationship just doesn't work for me anymore. And people might have issues with that. Like you have the right to, it doesn't mean that you have to, you know, to turn on to be a biatch anytime soon, or like you have to, you're so stupid you can't stay in my life. It's just a matter of, okay, so this energy just doesn't work anymore. And that's okay for you to move on from. And people might have reactions to that, and that's okay too. So it's a very soul-searching, aligning, fine-tuning month, April, for you. And it might be like, if you feel certain relationship sort of ebbing out of your life, don't be dramatic and like one afternoon you have to sort of cut cords with everyone. Let law of attraction, let the vibration take care of it. Let them just ebb themselves out. Vibrationally, they'll just be separated from you automatically. Come May, it's an even stronger feminine energy there. This yin energy, and this is also very much about not pushing for anything, but rather allowing it to happen. And I know for Capricorn, I know I'm completely generalizing now, but if you're a strong Capricorn, this is not very particularly easy for you, because you're the one that wants to, like, you want to have that plan and you want to have that PowerPoint presentation, and you want to know what's going on. So just allowing things to fall into place, it's sort of usually not your cup of tea. So this might be a little bit of a challenge for you. So be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself and the energy around you, to let it fall into place and show you where it wants to go. Because it will show you, unless you sort of try to make things happen, try to speed it up, and try to, like, can it just, for the love of God, show its face now? Like, I want to know. If you can sort of, to the best of your ability. I know I'm the same way. There's no Capricorn in me almost whatsoever. But still, like, there's a strong, like, please, just show me the next step. It's a little bit tough to be in limbo and just sort of trust your gut, right? Okay, yin can also mean that you're just supposed to drink a hell of a lot of alcohol. That was funny. Wow, she yelled. Look at this. Yin and win. It doesn't rhyme whatsoever. I thought we had the same situation and we didn't, but almost. 1, 2, 4, 5. Look at this. So we have manifest. This is you making something out of nothing. This is you really creating. So this is what I mean. Even though if it doesn't show, just like the month of March, like you might think like I haven't done anything and I can't get anything done. I can't get going with anything. No, that's the energy asking you, please slow down. Please create as much time and space as you can so that you can allow for this shift to take place. And that can be exhausting in itself, even if you sort of quote unquote don't do anything. And the same thing here in the month of May is that you're in this limbo where it looks like nothing's happening. That's when all of it is happening. Before something is showing its face, I believe it's Abraham that says, as in Abraham Hicks, that says like before you actually see some sort of physical evidence of something, 99.9% of it is already done and ready in the realm of the non-physical. And so just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not being worked on or in progress or in process or like it's happening. Just like a seed that you're putting down in the soil, you don't see it growing until you see it growing, or until one day. I feel like with my flowers all the time, like, oh my God, how fast did that happen? And it's not like I see it like actually coming up, but like from day to day, it's like, oh my God, that's like such a such a change. So don't think that nothing's happening just because it's quiet. You're actually manifesting a heck of a lot of things in the unseen, in the unknown, in whatever might feel like a limbo situation. Also, we have win or lose, and this sits right between manifest, being in control, deciding, desiring, determining whatever it is that you want. It sits between manifest and the heart chakra. Another 4, I just realized you have a lot of 4. 4 is really steering the ship here, which is foundation, heart, love. Right in the middle of manifest and your heart center is win or lose. And I just feel like it's a little bit up to you now, Capricorn, to sort of set this stage. What do you want? What do you want for 2024 and the rest of your life? You're coming out of something that you have grown out of. You're more listening to your soul and to your purpose than ever. Like, it's important to get that like window to your soul. And we have a little heart here, and the sword represents communication. It's like we put down the sword, like choose your battles. Like, that's also Abraham saying, do you want to be right or do you want to feel good? Do you want to be right or do you want to feel good? And most people actually say, I want to be right. Because you don't want you don't want another person to win, or you don't want another person like they are so wrong. Well, if you want to feel good, you might just say, okay then, bye now, and just go on your happy day with your stuff. There's something right in between the manifestation of like creating whatever you want and really being in tune now with your heart, with what your true desires are. That you're navigating this sort of decision about like, I'm worthy of this, I want this, and I can have this, and it's okay for me to have this. And simultaneously, if someone has a little bit of an issue with you, like you're choosing new or you're choosing differently, and some people are not a part of that. And you know, you're sitting in between manifesting a heck of a lot of things and like really coming from the heart and really deciding for yourself what it is that you want. Pay attention and try to allow as much as you can. In the month of May, we want to allow. There's a lot of creation going on anyway. And then we have the month of June, which is like sort of the ultimate. This is 20, so it's a 2.0 version of Capricorn. This is a Libra influence. If you feel strongly towards that, please check it out. This is a truth card. Again, we're continuing on this authentic path. What is authentically Capricorn and what is not? And it feels like you're just continuously moving in that direction where you feel more and more you. This is balancer of karma. This is when justice is working out in your favor. This is if something has been sort of pouring out of you and nothing seemingly has come back. So there's an uneven energy in what you have put in or invested in something and what has come back to you, the month of June is when you're starting to see the evidence of whatever is going to come back. Meaning the energy is going to be leveled out. It's going to be feeling more balanced in your life, in your body, in your mind. Can we clarify the truth card, please, for June? June, the truth card. Page of Ariel. Reliable, clever, educated, and balanced. And I'm so drawn to the word balance there. An excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships or the pursuit of education, time to get to work. So I'd say that June is probably the first month of like actual real action. That doesn't mean that you're not like doing anything with your life. It doesn't mean that you're laying on the couch and don't just move and do anything. But towards where you're going and heading, it feels like the actual momentum or wheel or speed in the action-oriented world. So not inwardly anymore. This is now being projected out into the world, and you're starting to see evidence of this physical, whatever it is that you have created for yourself. And there's an opportunity coming in here. Page is new energy, new opportunities, newness. Ariel is all about the heart and all about manifestation. And I just realized we had the heart center and the manifest card. And Ariel represents the heart and manifestation. And this can also be that you're just really are stepping into your wisdom. Like you're standing in a library full of books. And I mean, I know for sure that you don't have to read a heck of a lot of books to gain wisdom. You can gain wisdom from... I'd say that the book is a catalyst for your own inner wisdom to be activated, right? You don't actually gain wisdom from a book. Does that make sense? So you don't have to actually read a book to gain this wisdom. I just feel like you're doing something now. You're putting yourself in a situation where you're going to activate a lot of knowing and wisdom about yourself. And like stepping into that very... Yeah, Capricorn, I think you're going to start to actually really, really like yourself and your life. And come June, there's a bigger movement. So I'd say that action-wise, it's more like towards June that stuff is really starting to happen. Okay, and then we have July, which is Loyal Heart. And a couple of things with this card. If we continue on that path with your dreams and your visions and stay true to yourself and the window to your soul and all of that, the Loyal Heart speaks about the same thing. We often speak when we hear loyalty. When I think of loyalty, it's like, so you might be a loyal friend, you might have loyal friends, or you want to have loyal friends. You might be loyal to, like if someone is sort of describing you, they might say like, Capricorn is such a loyal person. They always like back me up or help me with whatever I want. Rarely do we speak about loyalty when it comes to our own dreams, our own intentions or wants that we want for our future. Like we rarely speak about being loyal to what it is that you want. So Capricorn, if you're starting to move in a particular direction, and specifically probably around the month of June, and then come July, it feels really important that you stick to the path, that you stick to the intention that you set. Like you are loyal to what you have promised yourself you were going to do, whether that is a dream that you want to follow, whether that is a new health plan, whether that is you getting out there more and start dating, if this is you applying for a job, whatever this is for you, that you set out like, this is what I want to do, to just stay true to that and be loyal to that and respect what it is that you want. Respect your dreams. And this can also represent, we have that little love story going on here simultaneously. And this might be for some of you guys that like, you're just meeting someone that's very like-minded. They have the same soul, the same heart, the same of course they don't, but like, you know what I mean. They view things very much the same way that you do. Also very, very wise. Like you've come into your wisdom and so have they. Whether this is a friendship, whether this is a romantic partnership, whether this is someone that you meet through like your community and you just form this bond as a, wow, we have the same vision for helping others, whatever this is, it's a important union there that might really represent itself in the form of another person. We're going to go deeper into this because it's a couple of stories coming out there with that. So let's see what the clarifiers are. Loyal heart, what do we have here, please, for Capricorn? And this is for the month of July. July for Capricorn, please. And we have 3 and 5, so it adds up to number 8 again. So it's opportunities, it's power, it's strength, it's infinity. Wow, challenging times. I did not expect that. Okay. Are over. I thought I felt a little bit misplaced. Challenging times are over. I love this. Okay, I'm going to show you what I see here. So, Capricorn, you're probably going around with a little bit of a guard up. This is a quite big guard, but there's been, for some reason, the feeling that you needed to protect yourself. There's been a guard that has been really, like, no one has a guard up unless they think they need it. You don't just walk around with any guard just because, or just because you're so crappy at letting it go. You have the guard up as long as you feel like you need it. In my opinion, in my reference, that's the truth. And in July, with the loyal heart there and with this connection with someone, whatever work you're doing, I mean, on yourself, with yourself, whatever path that you're on, personally, spiritually, do you see how, like, okay, we have a guard up here, but this is the world card. It's called embrace, but it's like, I just feel like I love the word embrace because it's like, okay, we're not to be done or to be healed or to have like reached a certain place. We don't have to eliminate parts of ourselves. We have to include them, right? So we include the shadow side. We include the sides that we don't really love all that much. I'm not going to say a story, but it's just way too personal and way too... I'm not going to go in there. I'm sorry for saying A, but not B. So you're embracing all of it, and there's something that happens in the month of July that finally lets you let go of that guard and embracing the whole of it, not feeling afraid anymore, feeling way more comfortable in your own skin. Like I said, like you're really, in the month of June, like really starting to like yourself. And I'm so sad to say that. I don't think it's not too many people that are just satisfied with themselves and feeling like so at ease in their own skin and in their own body. We always seem to find fault there with stuff. And if it's not in our body, it's in our personality or it's with our surrounding or like whatever. This is also the world card. So this is when we're saying goodbye to an old chapter that just doesn't serve you anymore. It's like we've shifted the guardedness to a new heart. We have the heart chakra. We have four continuing to come through here. That is a new foundation for you and a new heartfelt place that you're now embracing. You're now stepping into that new found place and opening up that inner heart of yours and saying goodbye to an old cycle. Like the struggle is over. It's an end to that. It's a happy ending. You're coming into the new. This is a new chapter beginning. And you're letting go of that guardedness and coming into your beautiful new heart. Surrendering. There's a lot of surrendering around this. And the loyal heart here, it brings about even another story because it's the loyal heart. It's like you're letting go of the guardedness and we're stepping into the actual heart, the heart that wants to speak the truth and wants to be a part of Like you don't want to hide out anymore. And I don't even think it's the same. We have the ascension of the heart in the month of February. And the work that you've done on yourself continuously through the months. And then come July, it's like, because you stay loyal, because you're true to yourself, you're now entering into a brand new experience for the heart. This is quite profound in the month of July. And then we have August, which is awareness. This is, again, we can call it the world card, and we can also call it a little bit of the universe. So July and August, I feel like this is big months where you are looking to wrap the old life up and step into the new. If that is an actual move from one place to another, if that is your old body leaving space for the new body, if this is you leaving behind old belief systems, old friendships, old partnerships, like whatever isn't you anymore, you're leaving behind. And there's such a real connection now with source, with your soul, with your purpose, that just nothing is just in the way. I just feel like Capricorn, this is a very spiritual path for you. It's a very like eye-opening, like who you truly deeply on the innermost planes are. And it's one, so it's new beginnings, so it's new energy. We're starting fresh. Can we clarify awareness, please? Okay, I want to use another deck as well. Wow, love. Ascension, again, with the heart. Love is coming out there again. Sits right under February. So it's like the second month of the first half of the year and the second month of the second half of the year. It's like it has a similar energy. For some of you guys, there is such a beautiful connection being made this year. And in particular, around June, July, August. I mean, some of you guys are even having this happen in the month of January, and then February is like, deal, I'm in it. If this is the same one, like it just continues to just grow stronger and stronger and stronger. There's another deck that is speaking. Can we clarify this love, this awareness? Okay, 4 and 6 again. Love and harmony, love and harmony, love and harmony, all around, and a lot of force. Okay, so we have the authority card, which is very much like stand your ground, stay in your integrity, know thyself. And with the awareness card, the authority, look at the halo on both of those. Very connected to source, wouldn't you say? This can represent you. I'm not taking away that it is a very strong connection with someone else. You're making a new significant friendship that's just gonna, that friend you're gonna sort of have forever, and they're gonna share your vision of almost like just that beautiful friendship or a partnership, like in terms of love, romance. However, it's a significant relationship happening this year. This can also represent you, Capricorn, because we have so much like with the Libra, with the truth, with the balance, the window to your soul, working on yourself, shedding the old. We have the world card come out a couple of times, which is like the ending of the old and coming into the new. This can also represent you, like the masculine and the feminine energy that sits in each and every one of us. That there's a clear balance between the inner planes, if that makes sense. Like you're in the most balanced place that you've ever been. You're standing your, or at least practicing standing in your integrity and not taking crap from no one, putting your foot down, setting boundaries. This is who I am. I am so connected, you cannot yell me off my course. It's a clear, very powerful, strong path here. And for some of you, this is a connection with someone else, but it's mainly a connection with yourself, like that beautiful connection with yourself. I just feel that there's a love story going on here for some of you guys. If you're looking for love and you want to make that to make that connection, this is the year for you, Capricorn. Like, this is like, oh my God, there's so much love. The connection, the commitment to finding that person. Okay, moving on to September. This is when this is about tying up loose ends. It's about finishing up, putting the final notice in somewhere. It can be as lightly as, okay, cleaning out the closets, cleaning out the basement. I needed to go through those boxes for forever. Anything that sort of drains your energy, it might be those things as well. But it can also be like, okay, I need to just finish up what I've once started, and I need to move on into whatever fits you better. It's a tense, it's a completion, like it's time to complete things and just move on into the new. This might even be like packing up your house and move somewhere else. This can be packing up, maybe not a good expression, your old relationship and move on to something new. This might be, like I said, a final notice, letting someone know you're not going to work here anymore. This is when you are bringing in and bringing home your energy. It's like you're summoning yourself back into yourself. Whatever's being like scattered around, that is like you have put too much energy into everything else, or too much energy to not finish stuff. You're just finishing it up now. Can we clarify? Unfinished symphony here. Whatever has made you feel that you can't move forward, or whatever has kept you from moving forward, is now letting go, or you're dealing with it so that you can move forward. Wow. Okay, I saw what that was. Congratulations. You've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project. My goodness. Awards, scholarships, or promotions. So, and this is 6. Six is here strongly as well. It's representing of that love and harmony in the heart. This is just what we talked about. Like, it's time to move on. You're making that final round, wrapping things up, completing things. And here it says, congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project. You're doing it. You're not. So this is what I mean with Capricorn. If you've had 5, 10, 15 years of hardship, in particular in a certain area, in a certain category, that you're like, for the life of me, why do I end up here over and over again? Or why can't it just move forward? Why can't I catch that break? Whatever. This is the time where maybe for the umpth time, you're trying to make something happen and it works. It's just timing. It's time. The floodgates has opened. We don't have any Pluto swirling around anymore. It's like you're now in a place where you can move forward. And if this is like you've been trying to leave a relationship, you've been trying to leave a job, you've been trying to better your health or your body in some fashion or whatever, or you've been trying to get that job, get that promotion, move into that betterment or whatever, and it's just not happening. Come September, you're going to feel like, oh my God, I did it. I did it. And I'm moving on, finally. This is a tower moment, and don't be alarmed, because this is a rebuild. It's a rebuild tower. And it's 16, so it's sudden shifts and sudden changes. And you see that you're holding your hands over your heart. So like the heart is so important here for this year. The window to your soul, the fine-tuning of yourself, all of that. I feel like whatever caused you to have a guard up. We had that from the month of July, whatever, that you're now sort of transcending into be more open and be more accepting and not be so protective of yourself anymore. Whatever made you have that guard and whatever tower this was, you have rebuilt yourself from it. Like, you're better because of it. This is the type of situation where this is not that you're out of milk, whoever drinks milk. This is not a situation even that when someone, where it's been sort of somewhat good and someone breaks it off with you, or that you're being let go. It's not even that. This is the dark night of the soul. This is when you are coming back or coming out of rebuilding yourself from scratch. It's the end of a chapter. It's the world, like it's the end and we're stepping into the new. It's a presentation of the new, and you're healing the heart and you're just about like ready to take on the world. Can we clarify? Okay, we want this again. We want to clarify the rebuild there. Okay, so the story that I'm getting in my head is that as quick as someone pulled the rug from underneath your feet, like the same feel of like something really quite profound in what you probably would consider to be like a negative situation, whatever happened there in that direction, there's been a moment or 20 in between here to rebuild yourself and get back on track and find your, not even find the old version as you were, but find the new version of yourself. We have the transformation, we have the surrendering and releasing of the old, and finding now the balance, the new version of Capricorn. But when that sort of journey is almost done, as quickly as someone pulled the rug from underneath your feet, or that you felt like you were sort of going into the abyss of darkness, you will feel I just feel this shift going into the light, or going into the you're not leaving this earth plane. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, I just get the sense of as quickly as you were drawn down in something, there's been a long rebuilding, a long healing time in between. Don't get me wrong. But one never knows really when things like really shift, or when there's like a moment of, okay, I felt like there's the moment where it happened going south. This is the moment where it happens going north. And I feel like in the month of October, there's something that's gonna shift things in the way for you that you feel, okay, I'm on the way to goodness here. And that's gonna happen like that. The healing part has not happened like that. It has been a journey, but like once you are like out of it, you're out of it. Okay, clarify and rebuild, please. Maybe that was the clarification. Let's see. Rebuild. What do we have, please, for Capricorn? Oh, love this. Love this. It's the healing card. It's the star card. It's you feeling healing and hope again. It's you mending and healing and having dreams. It's wish fulfillment. It's the Aquarian energies. It's like, okay, I move from sort of as a collective from the Capricorn, where the Pluto has been stationed, into Aquarian energy, and also from the Piscean energy into the Aquarian energy, which is a lot about freedom and choosing your own path, and choosing a path where no one else, whether no one else is choosing it or not, just doesn't matter, because it's your choice. It's foreverness. We're going from the 16 with the sudden shift and sudden changes, and it's quite a tricky energy to be in, because it's like you feel mostly out of control, mostly like you can't get things working the way that you want them to, blah, blah, blah. And then come into 17, which is like a foreverness. It's an eternal feel. It's like, it's not in and out quickly. It's like a foreverness. It's the eternalness. It's the immortalness of things. It's like just the most beautiful energy to be in. And for the month of October, I feel like you feel you've had a lot of beautiful months leading up to this. There's been a lot of love. You might be fully head over heels in love, and you have all those emotions as well. You've done a wonderful job at moving on and mending and finishing up and clearing out, and my goodness. But come October, there's something in the energy that just, I don't know, it's just this dark night of the soul is just finally over. And you feel it in your body, you feel it in your cells. Like there's a shift from 16 to 17, from flaky and quick moving and changing out of control to solid, and we're staying, and it's for the long haul. It's like it's forever, you know, it's safe and supported. And it's wish fulfillment. I love that for you. And speaking of fulfillment of wishes, the month of November, you might even feel that this is like a new normal for you. Fulfillment of wishes, meh, I do it every day now. I do it every moment of every day. I have this one down now. Or it might be like a significant, you've been asking for this type of situation, and in the month of November, something very like specific that you've been wanting to have, experience, achieve, see a result in, see happening, see open up, is happening in the month of November. Can we clarify the fulfillment of wishes, please? Number 9. Fulfillment of wishes for Capricorn. Capricorn, this is your year. This is your year. And my goodness, what a job you've done. Wow. Again, did not expect. Okay, I want this one. Can we clarify? Just one more, please, for Capricorn for November. November. Okay. Interesting. A couple of things coming through there. Coming from October into November. Let's clarify. Wow. Okay. So we have confront and like it almost makes me a little emotional. Look at this. I see this as both, like this is you, both of them. I see this as you, like growing really wise, growing into understanding who you are on so many levels, Capricorn. Dressed in their purple robe or purple, like whatever that is, long jacket, weird. It's talking about like growth spiritually. And then I see this as like almost like, obviously this is a man and this is a boy, so let's just go with that. It's not gender specific. It's almost like seeing yourself in the, because we have the moon there. So it's like really seeing yourself. This might even be like seeing the inner child, seeing that part of you that was struggling for so long. And it's like, it's almost like a little mini goodbye. Like, I'm good now, my little mini shadow. I don't need you anymore. Like I've grown to the most potential that one. I squeezed the last little drop out of the situation that you have brought me. So like you can go off now. I'm done. We're done. But at the same time, it's like it's an embrace. It's the which month was that you don't push away, you include everything that you are, and you understand the entirety of who you are. And we also had, where did that come? There. Prosperity begins. It's like the struggle is over and prosperity begins. It's almost like a bittersweet goodbye. And it's almost like the little mini guy or little mini girl is still there in you. That inner child is like still there, obviously. And it's always going to stay there. And it's like always going to be a part of you. It doesn't really go anywhere, but it's like it's not the driving force anymore to heal and heal and heal and heal and try to get back on track. It's like so done. And now prosperity begins. And you put down that seed a long time ago. And fulfillment of wishes, like we're not waiting for that to grow. Like we already have the tree, we have the fruit, it's bearing fruit already. It's bearing fruit so much that it falls up rather than down. November is a beauty, but I say that every month. I say it is quite profound months, and that's why I'm saying this is your year. I think it's a lot of people's year because there's a big shift taking place collectively. 18 adds up to a 9. We have 9, and then we have 1. So it's like, okay, the hardship we worked through, we come into the 9, which is the ending, and then we come into the 1, which is the new beginning. And then we have end this year with here and now. 32. So it says past and it says future and it says here and now. Like here, sit in the here and now. This is reminding you to not get too nostalgic about your past or not get too hung up about your past. And this is also reminding you to not get too ahead of yourself into the future, that where your power lies is in the here and now, in the present moment. We hear that all the time, but I don't know if a lot of people really understand what that means. You have the true power in the here and now. If you try as best as you can to be as present as you can, that's going to be the big reward for the month of December. And this is going to be the final clarifying here. Can we clarify here and now for Capricorn, please? Yes, we can. Oh, sweet. So, I got a little reminder here because I didn't go back to October like I said. Okay, one thing at a time, please. We're starting with, okay, so we had a confront there for November. And this is like facing your shadow, facing the darkness, facing your fears. Make friends with your fears, deal with them. Like those things has been the thing that has been working underneath. That comes from from October. We have the tower there that has the healing journey, that whatever has mended you. And then the hope and the healing, the star card. I have 16, 17, all black borders, and then 18. So it's like we have October 16, 17 that seeps into November. We bring it with us into November where we have the fulfillment of wishes. So because you have done the work, you can have the fulfillment of wishes and the prosperity beginning there. So that was October, November, and then December. So November, we had the bearing of the fruit. Like we have the fulfillment of wishes. You're starting a new path. It really is a cycle this year. And then the fruit there is, we're bringing that from November into December with 6 of Ariel. It's another number 6. We have 6 and 4 all over the place. All over the place. Goodness. Look at this. This is when you're standing in the smack middle of it's bearing fruit. Your hard work is paying off. Your healing is paying off. Material needs gets fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. Acts of kindness, giving and receiving with a grateful heart. There's the heart again. I love how we end on the note with the heart. 6 of Ariel. 6, love and harmony, balance. Ariel is all about the heart and the manifestation, and you're in it now. At the end of this year, you're in the fruit. You're in way earlier too. But I think that this sort of settles it. It's not a visit. It's not a quick stop to the bank and then the money was out again. It's like no, we're moved out of 16 and into 17. It's a foreverness. It's an eternalness. That is what I have, beautiful Capricorn. I hope this is helping you, guiding you in a clear direction. And please come back and check each month if you need some sort of guidance or just some inspiration of what's happening every once in a while. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Take care.